Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Hey, what it do? It's your boy E2 Blue coming back at you again. One more again, y'all. One more again. What it look like? Um, Doing a late stream. I know probably a lot of people are not going to be on because I know a lot of people are probably asleep at the moment. Those of you on the West Coast, you may be on because you guys are 3 hours behind. So, in Texas, you guys are an hour behind. Hey Sheila, what's going on? Stephanie, how you doing? How you doing? Appreciate y'all coming through. Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. All right. So we're here. So, um, Mr. Truckee, what's going on, sir? Thanks for the $2 super chat. Appreciate it. I appreciate you helping to grow the nation, brother. Where you at now, Mr. Truckee? You out on the road or you at home? Cowboys started OTAs this week, and I'm gonna talk about some position battles. I'm gonna talk about some of these contracts and stuff like that that I know you and I are both tired of hearing about. We hear about it all the time. Before I get into anything, though, I am going to reveal something to you guys that you don't know yet. You just made a home. Good stuff, brother. Good stuff. Um, there's like 8 of you in right now, so I'm gonna wait for more people to come in before I do my reveal. John House, what's going on, brother? Got the usual suspects in here. I appreciate it. You guys are doing a late stream today. I had a real busy day, had a lot going on, but the show must go on. It's Thursday night, so Friday Eve is what we like to call it. Anthony, what's going on, brother? Chilling out here over here in the DM Vizzle. Manuel, Corona, what's going on, brother? Just in time for your lunchtime beer at work. That's what's up. Because I know you was knocking them things back last time we chatted about when the Cowboys lost that one game when we had that talk. That was crazy. Um, Real quick, you guys seen the last video I did about the whole Ezekiel Elliott incident in Las Vegas at 3 a.m. And a lot of people look at it and they're like, it's not a good look. And I agree, it's not a good look. One thing that I will say about these Dallas Cowboy players, especially Ezekiel Elliott, because when you have situations where people are looking at you, you're a celebrity. Two things that I'm gonna speak on, just on that, and I'm gonna let it fly. Um, yes, it's not a good look that he was out there drunk. Um, we also don't know what was said with that security guy. And also, he didn't really push him with his hands. He kind of just was leaning on him, and he just kind of just flopped over. I don't know what that was about. It was really weird, but it's funny because he was there at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then that very next day he did his football camp in Frisco. Um, Again, we don't know what his condition was when he got to the camp, how engaged he was. But again, he's a young guy, and when you're young, you can get up and move around like that. Another thing is too, these young players, they're making all this money, and in the off season, you're more than welcome to go party, do whatever you want to do. But again, you also have to realize that you are a face of a franchise. You are looked up to by certain people, and you have an image to uphold as far as being a Dallas Cowboy player. And when you are a Dallas Cowboy player, you also have to know too that you are always looked at. You are always on watch. People are always staring at you. So that's another thing. So, guys, before I get into the meat of the conversation, that's all I got to say about that Ezekiel Elliott. So, let you guys know. So, I mentioned it to some of you what my plans were as far as changing up my image. So, I'm gonna start with this. So, here we go. Cut my hair. My locks are gone, guys. Boom. There it is. Boom. Mind blown. I got a cut yesterday. My barber, I was sitting in the chair and I was like, John House said, no. Yeah, my barber, I was sitting in the chair and he cut one and I was just like, damn, no turning back now. But he told me that he was gonna hook it up. He was gonna do the damn thing. He was gonna hook it up, and I like it. Oh, Stephanie, you like it? That's what's up. I appreciate it. Hey, Coco, what's going on? Thanks for coming to the chat. Mr. Trucker said, "Who is this guy?" Yeah, I did. I lost my superpowers, man. My superpowers are gone. And it's funny that you say that, Manuel, because normally when I roller skate and stuff like that, my I rely on my locks to as my momentum when I'm spinning and doing my tricks and stuff like that. But I haven't skated yet, so when I go back to skating, it's gonna be weird because I'm gonna have to figure something else out as far as my momentum goes. See, Stephanie, you say that, and this is what I hate about people in the business world. Like, so what if what my hair is like? If I have like, and my locks were always neat, especially like when I was in my suits and when I was doing anything business related. My locks were always freshly done, freshly twisted, and styled up. Um, what's the difference? There's no difference between who I am right now without my locks and who I am with them. You know what I mean? So it's really irritating when people like it you're judging somebody off of their hair. Like you can't tell, um, different religions not to wear their ceremonial things. You can't tell a Muslim not to have a beard. You know what I mean? Like it's situations. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't change who you are as an individual. You're still the same person. I'm still the same E too. I still keep it real all day, every day. You already know that. Um, yeah, Stephanie, and it's unfortunate that that's the way it is. It really is. But um, yeah, perception is a bitch. It really is. But I actually like the new style. I'm a rock it like this, probably forever. I don't know if I'm ever going to grow my locks back, but I did love my locks. It's going to take some getting used to not having my hair anymore. Um, yeah. So now that's over with. As we look forward, so Dak Prescott is in line for his contract. Um, there was news that broke out about his team making a counter offer to the Cowboys. We already know that he wants at least 30 mil. I think that 30 mil is fair for him. You look at a guy that's, gone to the playoffs multiple times in 3 years of him being a starter for a team that he wasn't supposed to initially be a starter for. Pay the man. And it's exactly. And they're going to pay him his money. They're definitely going to give him his just due. Dak Prescott is the leader of this team. So as we talk about him being a leader of this team, you look at some of the other players that were basically talking to Dak Prescott about Virginia Finest. But what the dreads at, fam? Yeah, I cut them yesterday. I cut them off yesterday, bro. Yes, power of four, John. So with Dak Prescott being the leader of our team, you look at all the other players on this team, and who is this guy? How they interact with Dak Prescott. What the things that they say about Dak Prescott. And you know what's funny? And I was listening to the Randall Cobb interview. I was listening to Robert Quinn's interview, and all the other free agents that they talked to. Um, all the other people that basically Dak Prescott was talking to, and they basically say all the great things about Dak Prescott. Oh, he's a true leader. He's definitely talking to everybody on the team. He's not just talking to his offensive guys. He's with the defense as well. True leader abilities of your team. You want your quarterback to have great football skills, of course, because that's the main thing. But again, not every quarterback is a leader. You look at I'm gonna give you a perfect example of a quarterback that's not a leader, but had decent ability. You look at Jay Cutler when he was the quarterback of the Bears. When he was a quarterback in the Bears, the biggest knock on him was the fact that he was not really vocal. He didn't really talk. It was almost like when you look at him, it looked like he was scowling a lot. And a lot of people didn't really take that in stride. But you look at Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a guy that's all over this team. He's talking to everybody, showing respect to everybody. And the biggest thing I love about him, he does not throw his teammates under the bus. Even when Scott Linehan was messing up the plays last year and doing all that, he didn't throw Scott Linehan under the bus. When Scott Linehan got fired, he still said good things about him on his way out the door. Now we know the truth. We know that everybody's happy that he's gone. But when you look at the grand scheme of things, you look at it in the perspective of we're glad he's gone, but we're not going to put that out there. We're going to stay true to who we are, and we're going to make the necessary changes. And that's a segue into what I'm going to say next. Yeah, Sheila, definitely liking what I'm hearing from the team. Mario Sanchez, what's going on, man? Yeah, Virginia Finest. My barber is the truth, man. I really put my trust in him, and he did the damn thing. I'm happy with it. I like it. As I get used to it, start trying to get these curls up in here, get this little curl pattern going on here, so I could be fly as hell like everybody else. Somebody told me to grow it out and do the Odell Beckham. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Definitely not doing that. But yeah, so as far as Dak Prescott goes, I'm loving what I'm seeing right now this offseason. I'm loving it. You look at I was looking at some of the clips from the OTA practices and stuff. Randall Cobb is loving his quarterback. He basically said that as time progresses, as he gets more acclimated with this team, and with Dak Prescott getting that that connection with your quarterback is important. And I think that Randall Cobb is one guy that a lot of people aren't talking about that I think that's going to help Dak be better. Now, I listened to some of what Sanjay Lal was talking about. Texas Twister looking sharp, different. But I get used to it. That's the same thing I said. I got to get used to it too. Yeah, Cobb is a smart player. Cobb is an older guy. You know what I mean? Like I like his addition in this wide receiver room. I think that after listening to some of what Sanjay Lal was talking about, Sanjay Lal was basically he kind of hinted at they're going to keep him. He's going to be a main slot guy, but because Randall Cobb can play all the positions, kind of like Allen Hurns. Allen Hurns can also play all the positions as well. But you look at Randall Cobb and his ability to play all three of the positions, and you look at he can play on the outside, he can play on the inside, he can play the slot, the X, the Y, all that. His primary spot is going to be the slot, but I think that when they do go routes, they're going to have him on the outside because that guy can catch the ball deep as well. We've seen Aaron Rodgers throw him the ball, and he's done it on us in playoff games. So, Chris Cantu, welcome to the chat, bro. I appreciate you coming through. I like what Kitten is doing as well. I'm mentioning him too. Yeah, Tavis. I cut my hair, man. I cut it yesterday. Got it chopped off yesterday. I had to I was going through a lot in the past year and a half, 2 years. Sometimes you just feel like you just need a fresh look. Just kind of there's some wise tales that say that your hair holds a lot of negativity and things of that nature. So a lot of times when people dismiss themselves from their hair and release themselves from that, it's almost like you're getting rid of negative energy and you're starting over as a new. So look at it as like a fresh start. You said thirst alert. What's going on in the chat, yo? I'm missing that. Yes, Virginia's fine. Hot damn, new man, new brother, 100. So look, Sheila mentioned it. I love the fact that John Kitna comes in here and he basically says that I want to help make Dak an even greater player than what he is. One thing that you're going to notice about Dak Prescott, not only in this offseason, but primarily when the season starts, that's when you're really going to see it. His footwork is going to be they're working on his footwork and him planning. That was one of the biggest knocks that Dak had, was planning his foot and making sure that his throws were on point. Now, they already said, John Kitna already said that he reminds him of Warren Moon as far as he throws the ball. And we already know Warren Moon threw a really nice spiral, tight spiral. And to make a comparison like that to Warren Moon, that's big. And I love the fact that John Kitna, when they hired him, I knew that was going to be great for Dak Prescott, because now you got guys in here that are not only going to be positive for the growth of Dak going into his fourth year, but also the simple fact that everybody is going to have a piece of the pie. When I say that there's going to be fingers in everywhere, like you look at Doug Nussmeier, our tight ends coach. He was a coordinator in college as well. So these guys have experience with different positions and being coaches, and everybody's going to be involved in this offense. The wide receiver coach, Sanjay Lau, a route technician, getting these guys on their routes. Even some of these undrafted guys. Now I'm gonna go into the wide receivers once I finish with Dak, because it's some key things with these wide receivers that you're gonna see this year. It's gonna be a hell of a difference. One thing that I'm gonna backtrack a little bit. I talked about this a little bit on my last live stream, but I'm gonna clarify some of the things that when Linehan was here, you look at how the Cowboys ran their offense. We already know everything was bland. It was dry as hell. What Kellen Moore brings to the table is not necessarily changing the playbook, but taking the plays they already have. Yeah, they're gonna add some new plays. There are gonna be some different plays that we haven't seen. But what they're also gonna do, what's the biggest thing that they're gonna do with the plays that they already have? They're gonna take the plays that have been successful in the last whatever years. They're gonna take the successful plays. They're gonna use those, and they're gonna you're going to see a lot of different pre-snap reads. You're going to see different alignments in ways that they didn't do before. So it may be the same plays, but the way they go about it is going to be different. And you look at this roster right now, it's perfect for what they're doing. Hell, we had a roster last year, but the problem is Linehan, we didn't utilize the players that we have. And I'm going to get into that as well. We didn't utilize our players. We had guys just sitting around. Rod Smith, I was a big fan of Rod Smith. I'm still sad that he went to the Giants, but they didn't utilize him. You saw what he did in 2016 in Dak's rookie year. You saw what he did in 17 when he lit up the Giants for 2 touchdowns. And that's the reason why the Giants picked him up, because they were like, oh, this guy torched us. We could do something with him against his old team. So one thing about this team, I don't understand some of the decisions that the coaching staff makes. It really frustrates me. And the frustration comes from the fact that they didn't utilize what they had. It's almost like they had a Ferrari in the driveway, or should I say in the garage, but they never drove it. It's like you have the tools, but you don't use it. What Kellen Moore brings to the table now is the simple fact that what they're going to do is they're actually going to start to utilize some things. They're going to add some wrinkles. They're going to do the necessary adjustments. Yeah, Andy Jones, I cut it. They're going to utilize what they have, and they're going to do the things that they were supposed to do before. One of the biggest things that pissed me off is this team goes out and they get guys that are not football players, and they try to make them like old basketball players like Rico Gathers and things of that nature. They try to have these project guys, but you don't utilize them. You don't give them a chance. If you know a guy that's been playing basketball most of his life, he ain't touched a football since elementary school or maybe middle, but you have him on your pro team, you know that it's going to be some adjustments. You know it's going to be some fundamental learning. You have a route guru here. You have the coaches on the staff to help him be great. Rico Gathers is what? 6'7", 6'8", long arms? God damn it, utilize what you have. There's things that you can do with him. We've seen him do great things in his first year in preseason games, scoring those touchdowns. Yeah, Mark, I cut it. Mark, you didn't. I put it in the group chat. Mark, you should have known before everybody else. You don't even check the group chat, dude. Mark, go back and look at the group chat. I posted it like after I got it cut. You guys were the first to see it before any other subscribers saw it. Um, Hope Rico shit off the pound. And see they made him game because they were trying to make him a blocker. And see, this is the thing. Like you have a guy that can catch the ball. You have a guy that can high point. What was our biggest weakness? We couldn't get into the red zone. We could not score into the red zone. You got this big guy. Utilize him. Throw the ball up. Throw it up so the kids can't get to it. Throw it on the top shelf, y'all. Come on now. Like there was, we didn't utilize Rod Smith. We didn't utilize Rico Gathers. Um, Even when you had Tavon before Tavon got injured, even when he came back, you didn't utilize him. And they kept saying they were going to do all these great things with Tavon, but didn't do it. Who else am I missing? Oh, thanks, George. Appreciate it. Kid Mega 14, what's going on? No, Mark, nobody broke into my house. This is me that you see sitting here. Mark, go look at the group chat on Cowboys Conglomerate, dude. Um, it was and the fullback, Jameis Olawale. You guys go all the way back to my video that I did the off season before last when we got Jameis back, when I did the video talking about him being a triple threat. Again, you saw how the Raiders utilized him. First of all, the Cowboys had Jameis Olawale in the beginning of his career, so they already know what he can do. So you get him back, and you keep talking all this crap about we're going to do this with this player, we're going to do that with this player, but then when the season comes, you didn't bust a damn grape, and it's crazy because it's like, what the hell was the point? And again, I'm not a coach, I'm not this, I'm not that, but at the same time, I know football very well, and I know, and I've seen these players, and I've studied these players, and I know what they can do. Junebug, welcome, brother. Thanks for the super chat. Do anything with the hair done? I actually still have my locks. I have them in a bag upstairs. I actually had one of the ladies at the salon next door to where I got my hair cut at. She actually said she was going to pay me for my locks because you know what they do is they use them for people that want a locks, and they don't want to go through that ugly stage, so they kind of cheat it and they like add hair to it or whatever, make it whatever. But I told her I'd get back to her. I kind of want to keep it for a little while for sentimental value, you know what I mean? Because I've had my hair for so long. So like I was saying, utilize these players, and I think that that's the biggest change that we're going to see this year. It's like the Cowboys are finally going to utilize these players. Another thing that we have now that we didn't have before, we have depth. And me and Mark spoke on this a lot before. The fact that you have guys, and there's no such thing as having too much depth. Because again, you want to have depth on your team because again, injuries are inevitable. It happens. You can't do anything about that. You get an injury in your team, that whole next man up that we were talking about. But this is the thing. When you look at the next man up mentality, that next man has to be the person that can step up. You can't just have anybody in there. You can't have Joe Schmo out there. Oh, thanks, June, but appreciate it. Um, Now, when I say that I'm happy with what I'm seeing right now, I'm like ecstatic because these players are like all in right now. You hear them in their interviews. You can see it in the room. You can feel it. You don't even have to be in Texas to even feel what's going on right now. And like I said, I think this year is going to be special, regardless of what the outside world may think. Now they can talk all types of whatever about the Dallas Cowboys. At the end of the day, man, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like you put up or shut up. Now, some of the guys that I want to talk about now, I want to get into the wide receiver core real quick. We have a lot of damn wide receivers. I don't think you guys realize the staple that we have right now and the talent that we have out right. Let me start with the undrafted guys. The kid John Vea. Sanjay Lau hyped him up so much, and they asked him, who's your standout wide receiver? He immediately went to John Vea and was like, this guy, he has speed, he has quickness, he has athleticism, he can high point, he can do this. And I think that he might be a guy that actually might make this roster. So some of these veterans, don't be surprised if there's some veteran wide receivers sitting on the outside looking in after all this happens. Oh, Kid Mega, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it. Yes, John, we them boys. Look, man. Jalen Guyton, both of these undrafted guys I'm looking at right now. They are on my radar right now. We still don't know what Cedric Wilson's going to bring to the table. I know a lot of you guys have mentioned before your love for Cedric Wilson. I want to see what he does. I've seen what he did. I've seen what he did in college. I've seen him play in college, but I want to see what he does with this Dallas Cowboys team. Akeem, you said they're going 14-2. That's what's up. He just stated Michael Gallup came in like a vet already. Yeah, and see, Michael Gallup had a great first year. In OTA practices, Dak Prescott threw a 40-yard bomb over the shoulder to him for a touchdown in OTAs. Like, you're going to see a lot of deep balls to Michael Gallup. Michael Gallup is the number 2 wide receiver. It's Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup and Randall Cobb. Those top 3 positions are already slated. We already know who the top 3 are. Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, Randall Cobb in the slot. Those are your 3 starters right there. Andy, you said we coming to a game of that. I know Mark is. I don't know of yet. I still have to figure out my schedule for this season. So I have to get back to you guys on that. So again, those 3 spots are solidified right now. Now, what happens under that? You look at Tavon Austin. Is Tavon Austin going to be the odd man out? Now, I know that Tony Pollard is a running back, but they might line him up on the outside. They might stretch him out. See, this is another thing that you're going to see with Kellen Moore. You're going to see running backs spread out wide, running wide receiver routes. These are things you're going to see this year. You're going to see it. You're going to see Ezekiel Elliott doing it. You're definitely going to see Tony Pollard doing it. Do I think Ezekiel Elliott be from the Los Vagos program? What? Yeah, Mike Weber. He's definitely going to be a special teams guy. Definitely. Oh yeah, Thomas. Yeah, Gallup is the truth, man. And these wide receivers, man, it's like a family, man. You see them all off season. They've been working out with each other and hanging with each other and fishing and playing football and things of that nature. And I think Randall Cobb slides right into that. These guys are definitely going to be. I'm just loving what I'm seeing. I hate to be this staff right now when it comes to breaking down this team for the 53-man roster, because you look at it like this: you might have to keep 6 receivers, y'all. You might. Y'all let me know what your top 6 are as far as wide receivers go, because you got. We already stated the top 3. That's already there. Does Tavon Austin make the team? Now, I know he's been working out really hard this offseason with the cords and with Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott threw him a bunch of deep balls. I really like Tavon because when you have a healthy Tavon, you got a healthy Tavon Austin and a Tony Pollard on this team. Oh my God! There's no reason why we should lose any damn game this year. I don't even care when we play the Patriots in the cold. There's no reason why you can't with the talent that we have on this team. If these guys stay healthy, we're gonna have a hell of an offensive game, man. I'm telling you. It's no holds bar. If they make the necessary adjustments in game and they play aggressive and they play like how the defense has been playing, ain't no stopping this team, y'all. There's no stopping. What's going on, Dana J? Yeah, you just got in here, man. I cut my locks off yesterday, man. This is the new E2 that y'all see right now. This is the reason why I told y'all before that I haven't put my merch out yet, because my other logo with my face on it, I was waiting for my hair to be cut to have it done so it can reflect on what I really look like. You see what I'm saying? So now you guys are understanding where I was going with that. I didn't want to say it because then it would have broke the surprise that I had for y'all. So yeah. Master, you said E2 2.0? E2 clean? You guys are crazy. I love y'all. I swear I do. What's going on, Saul? So so y'all made me lose my train of thought. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think about these wide receivers, y'all. I'm looking at these guys and I'm like, it's gonna be a hell of a battle on training camp. And this is what Jason Garrett was talking about for years. We want to provide depth. We want to provide competition every day. Ain't nobody safe, y'all. These veterans ain't safe. Now, when you slide over to the defensive line, you see what we have with the defensive line. We got a lot of shoulder injuries. You got Taco out. You got Lawrence out. You got the human log out. You got these guys nursing injuries. The Cowboys aren't going to have these guys really doing anything in OTAs, which is great because you have a staple of free agents and young guys that come in here to do the damn thing and take over for right now. So the Cowboys can have a jump start on these younger guys and see where they are. They are basically going to run with the ones and twos and see where they are with that. Yeah, Zachary. One of them, if not both, will make the team. I know that one of them will definitely be on the practice squad, if nothing else. But again, you look at the defensive line as well. What is Taco going to do this offseason? This is his make or break year, y'all. If Taco doesn't show out this season or this offseason, Dorrance Armstrong is breathing down his neck right now, and he's right there waiting to take over that spot. Robert Quinn starting at that right defensive end spot. They interviewed him. He's happy to be a Dallas Cowboy. He's committed. He's ready to go. He's ready to ball. He's ready to be on the opposite end of D-Law. And I'm telling you, these guys are going to provide so much pressure this season. I'm almost nervous. I'm almost feeling sorry for opposing quarterbacks. I really am. Now, you look at our division. Now let's look at the division right quick. You look at the Redskins. The Redskins just lost Reuben Foster for the year. He tore his ACL, which is really unfortunate. I don't know if the Redskins have a curse, but I'm gonna talk to my frat brother George about it. I'm gonna do a. I'm actually next time I go to his house. I know he's probably watching the stream right now. If you watching, George, shout out to you, brother. I'm gonna do a stream. I want you guys to see him, even though he's a Redskin fan. That's my brother. He started a YouTube channel as well. He's kind of like Mark Holmes, basically grill and build. But I'll talk about more when I do a video with him, so you guys can see what he's working with. I'm gonna introduce you guys to what he's doing, and hopefully you guys can subscribe to him as well. Yeah, Dave Moore, I cut him yesterday, brother. You said facing the Patriots will always be an ultimate test. But I think if this team stays true to themselves and they stay disciplined, I think that they could beat any team in this league. To be honest with you, even the Chiefs, and the Chiefs are a difficult team too. And you know it's going to be payback season for the Rams as well. So again, like I was saying, you can't sleep on the Redskins either. That's another thing that you cannot do. They did some things in the draft. They got Montez Sweat. They picked up your boy Haskins. Even though Haskins didn't want to go to the Redskins, I think that, and I'm gonna talk more about this when I do my thing with George because he's a Redskin fan, so we can get a little bit of idea of coming from that fan base as well. But you got to give the Redskins their credit though, as far as that, because again, every team in our division, no matter what situation is going on with them with injuries, it's always going to be a hard fought battle because these teams know each other so well. Um, I actually like Dwayne Haskins. I wish him well, except for when they play us. Um, I will honestly say that. I think that the Redskins got they got a squad. Yeah, Haskins is from the DMV. He's from this area. He went to I think Potomac High School in Montgomery County. Those of you that are in the DMV that know this area very well. Um, of course, he went out to Ohio State. But you look at the Eagles. Eagles have already been saying that they're going to be our top contender in the in this year's team. Because you look at what are they going to do with Carson Wentz? Is Carson Wentz going to be that guy that's going to be healthy? Is he going to be healthy? Because he hasn't. So we're talking about over here about how trying to pay Dak Prescott and is he worth it? It's tough to be an Eagles fans right now because they're torn on their quarterback right now because whether they should pay him or not, because is he going to be there? Um, you still got to respect the Eagles as well, even though we hate the Eagles and their fan base and their crazy fan base. I know I have some Eagles subscribers as well. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to my man David Satterwhite. That's my homie. He's a Eagle fan, but he's a true guy. Much respect to him as well. You look at the Giants and what the Giants did. Now, I kind of feel sorry for Saquon Barkley because they keep adding certain team things to the team, but they're not adding the right players. Saquon Barkley is their bright and shining light, but I feel like his first couple of years in the league is suffering because of the simple fact that he's playing for the Giants right now. They went and got Daniel Jones in the damn first round of the draft, and you're sitting here like, what? Why? You picked him over Dwayne Haskins. Now, I don't want to say why they did that or why I think they did that because I don't want to get into that. That's a whole nother argument that I don't want to get in right now. But I will say, just like we can't sleep on those teams, they cannot sleep on us as well. Because you look at what we're doing right now with our team. First of all, I love the offseason additions with the Robert Quinn, the Randall Cobb, and my pet cat for this year, Christian Covington, who we got from the Texans. When I tell you that these guys are going to step up, and the fact that Daniel who exactly, and it's crazy because you know that your draft stock, depending on where you go, the earlier you go in the draft, like the closer to number one pick, the more money that you make. So basically, Daniel Jones is going to be making more money throughout his rookie contract than Dwayne Haskins. And you look at what Dwayne Haskins has done, and you look at what Daniel Jones has done, and you're like, what in the hell? Oh, Swaggy D, that's your pet cat too? Yeah. I definitely want to see this dude do some things and get it done. Yeah, Thomas, they're not getting players to surround Barton. That's the problem. It ain't none of my business, though. Only good thing I had to come from the Redskins is Sean Taylor. Rest in peace. I agree with you, Stephanie. Now, it's funny because whenever I do go to the Redskins Stadium, again, I live 15 minutes from the stadium. Whenever I do go to FedEx Field, that trailer trash dump of a place, I always go to, and those of you that are on here that's ever been to the Redskins Stadium, they have, I think on the top floor, I'm not sure, but I've seen it. They have a replica. Well, it's actually his actual locker that they cut out. So they have Sean Taylor's locker with everything that he had in it that from the last time that he used it when he was alive. And they basically preserved it and they put it in a different area and they have it on display. Every time I go to the Redskins stadium, I always go to that locker and I show much love and respect for that because again, that's the one Redskin player that I do respect is Sean Taylor and the things that he's done in his career. And I feel like he would have been a Hall of Famer had he played longer. So you said, do I think Randy Gregory will play this year? It really depends on what happens with the CBA. It really depends on what the league is going to do with this whole marijuana situation. I really can't answer that question. I would love to see him come back because you look at Randy Gregory. Randy Gregory has not been a problem as far as being a nuisance to the team. He just smokes weed. And again, I'm not a guy that smokes. I don't smoke. I don't like smoking. I'm not a fan of marijuana, but I don't hate people that do it. That's your thing. A lot of people smoke marijuana. I don't think that there's anything wrong with it primarily, but that's what you do. But with him, it's like I feel like the NFL rules are kind of they need to change them because you look at the NFL. If the NBA had the same rules on marijuana as the NFL, it wouldn't be no NBA games because you know damn well them players high all the time. Chris Canty, you said Sean Taylor was the bad dude. Yeah, he was, man. Just the way that guy hit. Um, LaRon Landry. When LaRon Landry came out after Sean Taylor, he modeled his whole game after him. He was a hard hitting guy like that. So you look at the generations that come after that. Like when we had J.J. Wilcox, he was a heavy hitter as well. You look at the guys that modeled themselves after Sean Taylor, and you can't do nothing but respect that. Sheila, yeah, I definitely hope that Randy Gregory comes back on this field with this team. I think that definitely an asset to this team. I like Randy Gregory. I don't have a problem with him. You said his daughter is beautiful. I haven't seen her, so I don't know. Yeah, Ronaldo. I did. I cut it. I cut it yesterday. Um, Another thing is too when you look at this team as a whole. No, he's definitely not a bad guy. He didn't beat up on nobody. He wasn't in trouble with the law. He just loved to smoke weed. That's all it was. Do you think they'll be on strike in the future? I actually could see that coming with this whole CBA rules and things of that nature, and a lot of the stuff that Goodell was doing and things of that nature that people are not really um, liking right now. I can definitely see another strike happening. So you might want to look out for that. You said Gregory brings the energy to feel like a kid who had too much sugar. Yeah, that's the best. That's the best way you can put it. Hey Stephanie, can you handle that? You said you think Westry is going to take Byron's job. I doubt that. I look at it like this: Byron Jones played great last year until the end of the season. Uh, to the end of the season when he started having his hip injuries, and you can see what happened to him. And it's like all of a sudden it was like he went from not getting scored on and then getting scored on in the playoffs. And then I was looking at it, I was like, yo, something happened. Something had to happen. And then we hear about this offseason he had hip surgery. It's like it all comes full circle. And you sit there and you're like, okay, well, that makes sense. Yeah, Thomas, I said the same thing. He's not going nowhere. They're going to re-sign Byron Jones. They'll be stupid for not to. They finally got him in the position that he plays the best, and he played it very well last year. Now, guys, when you look at cornerback position, people always look at great cornerback play as a guy that's always intercepting the ball. Well, you know you're not going to intercept the ball every play. And people say he didn't make plays. Well, making a play, batting down the ball, that's making a play. You know why that's making a play? because the wide receiver didn't catch the ball and it didn't result in a positive game for the other team. So you batting the ball down and you stopping the wide receiver from that's a play. He made a play. I don't care that he's not making a bunch of interceptions. We got safeties that can do that as well. We got other corners that can do that as well. I love what Byron Jones brings to this team, and I want him back. Period. And I'm staying on the table for that. And I would get tired of hearing people saying Byron Jones sucked. First of all, if you think Byron Jones sucked, you obviously don't know the game of football, and you don't know how different cornerbacks play different ways and they're utilized in different ways. Just because it's the same position doesn't mean that it fits the same exact way. You got to look at things in a different perspective. Stop looking at it on a one-way street. You got to look at it from different angles, man. Oh, so appreciate it, man. Appreciate you coming through, man. I'll holler at you next time. No, I'm not saying Westry is bad. Westry is good, but he's not taking Byron Jones' spot. I'm telling you that right now. Especially because even if he plays better than him, the Cowboys are comfortable with their starters and the guys they know they can do it because they've seen them do it. Oh yeah, Heath does have some competition. And one thing, and I've said this before about Heath, I love Heath, but not as a full-time starter. If George Iloka could come in here and take that position up right there, and you use Heath as a half the snaps, that's when he plays the best. That's when he starts to make plays. That's when you see the angles come through. That's when he starts making interceptions. Because again, all the times that you've seen when Heath was leading the team with interceptions in a year was when he played 75% to 50% of the snaps. Exactly, Thomas. I'll take a batted pass anyway. Sitting here trying to be cute out here trying to intercept the ball and then get burned on an 80-yard pass. You're absolutely right, brother. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, Sam, man. It's gone, brother. Byron, Cheeto, Brown, Jackson, Jordan, Westry. I'm curious to see what they do with Jordan Lewis because again, he's a shorter player, and I feel like they haven't been respecting him as much. I like Jordan Lewis. Remember, he made that game-winning interception too. What I think about Dak not signing the contract, I don't think anything about it because he's going to sign the contract. It's going to happen. They're just figuring out. See, this is the thing that you guys have to realize when agents, and I spoke on this when D-Law, with the D-Law situation, these agents are trying to get the money that they think that their client deserves. And it's all about verbiage. It's about verbiage. It's about communication. It's about stipulations within the contract. Like, for instance, guaranteed money, workout bonuses. That's a guaranteed money, workout bonuses, how much you're making in the season, and how long is the contract? Is it a 4-year deal? Is it a 5-year deal? What is the percentage of the money that you're actually going to get versus what the contract actually is? See, it's a lot of things. See, the financial game when it comes to the negotiation process with this, that's a whole different level. And I would have to do a whole different live stream to explain that part about it. Again, it's the business side of football. But again, I'm not worried about it. Zeke's gonna get his money too when that time happens. You said he needs alcohol awareness, probably. You said you believe Jordan is a better zone. Yeah, I believe so too. Yeah, it'll definitely, yeah, man. So it'll definitely work itself out. That's why I said I'm not worried about none of these contracts. Amari Cooper is gonna get his bread. These guys gonna get paid. I think they got about 20 million on the cap right now. And if they need to, they can also go back and restructure a few contracts. They could do it with Tyrone Crawford. They can do it with Zach Martin. But again, you don't want to go start messing with their contracts because what happens is it's like you take that loan out, but then you got to go back and pay it again. Think of your student loans that you haven't paid off. Look at it like that. South of Heaven, what's going on, brother? Came in here. Just slid right on in here moderating. I see. He said Zeke needs a bodyguard. Zeke is a young guy. Zeke is what, 23 years old, 24 years old? You give a young guy millions of dollars. Guys, go back to, and I'm speaking primarily to the men on this because, females are a little bit more mature than we are earlier. So I'm speaking to the brothers on this. When you look at fellas, when you were in your 20s, what were y'all doing? Whether you were in college, when you were out here messing around with these girls, you was out here in these streets smoking, doing whatever. Again, everybody has their things that they did. And everybody has something that they go back on life and was like, damn, I was an idiot. Why did I do that? And I'm not making excuses for Zeke, but I'm just saying that he is young. And we have to realize that these guys aren't in their 30s. They're not in their 40s. They still got a lot of learning to do. Everybody can't be like a Dak Prescott where you're very mature and poised. People have different upbringings. What did y'all say? What's going on with Dayon? Yeah, he has to learn drink responsible. Drink responsible. He has to learn how to party responsible, and he has to learn that too. When you're in public, you are a public figure. You are a guy that some kids look up to. You're a guy that makes a lot of money. You play for the Dallas Cowboys. You are the number one running back for the Dallas Cowboys. You're looked at every day. TMZ is waiting. They got guys just sitting in Miami. They guys sitting in Vegas. They guys got sitting in New York. They got guys in all the major cities that these players like to party in, just waiting for y'all to F up. So this is the thing. When you look at that, one thing he has to realize that because of all that, he has to be careful. He has to watch himself. He has to mind his P's and Q's and things of that nature, and he has to do the right thing. But again, he'll learn at a time. Jerry Jones seems to not worry about it. This Cowboys staff or whatever, I'm pretty sure they have side conversations with him, but they don't think any different of Zeke Elliott. They love Zeke Elliott. They know that he has a good heart. I mean, again, he paid for Jalen Ferguson's funeral. We know that he has a good heart. We know that he wants to give back to the community. But again, he's a young guy that still likes to party, and he has to realize that he has to learn the balance of what he can do and what he can't do. That's just it. Me personally, I was a little more mature in my 20s. Yeah, I messed around and did some things, but I knew when to do things and when not to do things. And you got to learn when to have fun and when not to have fun. Swag, you said TMZ buys videos from random people so they can have. Yeah, they do. They do that. They spend a lot of money on that, and that's crazy. That's wild. Oh, and we have a young boy in the chat, Zachary Nations. You're still in high school, right? So, my word of advice for you, like you said, you won't be as wild as Zeke. Have fun, but realize that what you do in your present can always affect you in the future because you never know what type of jobs that you might get in the future. You never know what your life is going to be entail when you get older. You never know. What you do now affects your future, especially when you're a young kid. That's the advice I give you, Zach. So just be careful. TM sleeves, yes, I like that. I'm gonna start calling them that. Oh, Derek, yeah, he will learn. He will. Either the easy way or the hard way. But yeah, y'all, as we go into these 3 weeks, man, of OTAs and then mini camp in June, We are approaching. We are approaching. We are getting closer, y'all. You look at how close we're getting, and then training camp comes up in early August, the week of my birthday. I really want to go to training camp this year. I'm trying to work that out. Um, oh, John, you said your best friend passed on Sunday. I'm sorry, man. Send my condolences, brother. Everybody show John Durham some love in the chat, man. He lost his best friend this week. Praying for you, brother. Sending condolences to your boy. Everybody in the chat, man, show love to John right now, y'all. Again, what I tell you before, this Dallas Cowboy thing, man, this is a family, man. We look out for each other. This is what we do. This is what we do. We all may have different opinions on things, but it's all love at the end of the day. That's what it is. Oh yeah, the vets will definitely get a rookie as a nice go at it. But I'm looking at the rookies that we have, not just our draft picks, but these undrafted guys. I'm telling you, like it's going to be some hella competition this offseason. And the fact that a lot of these defensive guys are not going to play, these younger guys are going to get a chance to play with the ones and twos. They are going to do the damn thing, and I just have a feeling that it's going to help them grow. One thing that Ron Marinelli preaches all the time is the fact that his defenses are not complicated because the whole reason why he wants you to basically learn it so you don't have to think. Because again, those of you that play any organized sports, if you're thinking too much of what you're doing, Red Baron, bro, because I got one in the freezer. So Red Baron, manual, Red Baron. Um, you look at what they're doing right now, and you can't. I mean, you just have to just you can't do nothing but be happy about that and just like you said, pray to the football guys. um, this I feel like this year is gonna be different, man. I really do. I really do. It's gonna be hard to cut these players down. It's gonna be a lot of good players that will not make this team. Oh, Stephanie, today is your birthday? Is it your birthday, Steph? Or Brant? Oh, happy birthday, Steph. I'm not gonna ask how old you are because you never ask a lady how old she is. It's a lot of Geminis in the place. I'm telling you. You said you got a feeling our rookie class is gonna play a huge impact. I believe it, man. I really do. 43 flex, go mob, brother. Everybody show Stephanie some love. Wish her happy birthday. All right, Revis. Good night, brother. Yeah, Zachary, I agree. This is definitely the confidence that I have right now with this team, and just the things that we can do is huge. And I know a lot of you guys are still skeptical on what you welcome me on what Kellen Moore is going to bring to the table. But I'm looking at the positive right now, and I think that it's going to it's a good look, y'all. It's a good look. It's a good look right now. That's how I feel about it. And I'm not worried about all that else because everything else is going to fall into play. Everything is going to fall in place. Um, Speed, yes. The speed that's going to be on this offense and this defensive line. Um, I'm loving how they're already trying to utilize Tony Pollard and bring him into the offense. The biggest thing, um, this running back room. you're going to be able to spread these guys out and do a lot of different things. They can stress defenses out with what they can do with offense right now. And when I tell you that, like, they have the ability and they have the players to do it, that's why I kind of want to see both Pollard and Tavon Austin make this team, because you got two fast, dynamic guys, and you put them both. Oh my God! Think about it. You got Zeke on the. Say if you rest Zeke, you got Zeke on the bench. You got Tony Pollard lining up. You can run an I formation in that position, or you can just have Tavon out in the slot position. Oh, you're welcome, Cover. In the you can have him out there in the slot position, and then what you do is pre-snap reads, pre-snap had that guy come across the formation to the other side. Defense is like, what the hell is going on? And then you can pitch the ball off, and then you can get Tavon to toss the ball to the Pollard. There's so many things that you can do. And when I tell you that, like, I would love to see some stuff like that happen, yo, let's do it. The biggest thing is we want Zeke to eat, but you don't want him to eat too much, because you remember what happened last year when he came out there and his ankle was hurt and his knees was hurt. Again, you don't want to wear down your bell cow. You want him to eat, but you also want to be smart about it. Yes, and Jason Garrett's staying out of it, and I think that he is going to stay out of it. He's going to implement his game plan, but Jason Garrett is going to be Jason Garrett. He is going to allow his coordinators and his position coaches to do their job on game day. That's what he does. And Jason Garrett is going to be the guy. He's going to control the timeouts and the 2-minute drills and things of that nature. Oh, Donna, I'm good, man. How you doing? So yeah, as we approach, as the Cowboys continue and these OTAs for this next couple of weeks, and slide in the mini camp, and as we go into training camp in August, guys, you're looking at what we have right now. You can't do nothing but be happy about it. That's really all I have tonight. I will say one thing, and I'm probably going to make this every stream thing that I do. Oh, thank you, Donna. I cut it yesterday. Give you guys a little nugget, a kind of positive message. And you guys heard my message last week. I'll give you another one today. Those of you out there that are, again, like I said, dealing with rough times, having issues with your relationships, having issues with your marriages, having issues with anything, jobs, whatever the case may be, one thing that you cannot do is give up. You have to, if you see a problem in your life, you got to keep pushing to get it better, because they always say that can't nobody fix yourself but you. They always say that you can't love anybody until you love yourself. So self-love, self-respect, work on yourself, because those of you that believe in God, God comes first, yourself, and then everybody else. Yourself comes first. You got to take care of you. You can't help anybody else until you help yourself. So that's my message for this evening, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I appreciate you guys coming through and me revealing my no hair. So that's where we at. So hope you guys take my advice and continue doing what y'all doing. Cowboys, man, look, this is a family. I love y'all. We have to love each other, always respect each other, and this is what we do. And it starts with you. Good night, y'all. Happy birthday again, Stephanie. Appreciate you guys coming through. Coco, everybody. Thomas Garrett. Love y'all, man. Y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later. Peace out.